All right, welcome to episode 1 of Stephen J's Sports Quick Take. We're going to just talk to you a little bit about the sports from this week, our week, how things are going. A couple of things we're going to talk about is a charity event in, June 25th and 26th for Make-A-Wish Foundation. A little bit about the new Lakers head coach, life without Curry, Celtics, and if you couldn't tell, it's going to be a little bit of Patriots on the Stephen J. Sports Quick Take. All right, welcome back. I'm Steve, obviously, and this is Jay. We're going to talk to you a little bit about our week, and then we're going to get on to a couple sports things for this week. We missed you last Monday because he went to Raw, and I sat at home.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. But how was Raw? How was that?
It was good. My only complaint was it just seemed like they completely downsized the way that they did the setup.
Like the set or the setup for the show? The matches?
No, just the setup of the show, period. Last year I had gotten these close seats to where I was right next to JBL. We were in row E, so we weren't even that far away from the ring, and the whole wall was padded, and it looked pretty nice. Well, here I go, get the same seat somehow again this year, and I'm all excited. I'm pumped. I'm bragging to everybody. Oh, I'm gonna be next to JBL again. I'm gonna be on TV and everything.
Yeah, were you on TV?
I was.
Should have just ran in the ring.
Not as much as I was last year, just because we get there, and next minute I know we're 3 rows back from the announcers.
Wow.
There was an extra couple chairs next to me, and the wall was completely different. Everything was padded on the inside and up top, but then on the back there wasn't any padding at all. Stuff you could see, it locks in to make the wall.
So the cosmetics of the show were a little.
Yeah.
You could really see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So how about the next thing we're going to talk about is the charity event that you host at Nomads, and it is June 25th and 26th, and it is a basketball tournament, right?
Yes, it is.
And how many teams do you have so far?
So far, we got 14 teams. We're still open to getting a few more. This is 3 years in the making now.
Wow. And how much is it for a team?
$100 a team. Max at 10 players on a team. It's going to be a 2-day tournament, double elimination. And the nice part for something new this year as well, July 2nd, we're going to be doing the championship game at Basketball Hall of Fame.
Wow. And how did you manage to get that done at Basketball Hall of Fame?
Well, I knew from some guys that I play with, they play in the tournament up in Springfield. They seem to always have their championship game up there every year. So I just, put in a request for information about event stuff, and I had a guy over there contact me back, and definitely liked the idea of what we were trying to do. Got at least a discount off of it. Normally it's $2,500 an hour just to have an event there in the court, which is just crazy. They lowered it down to $550. And
wow.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if you're a good basketball player for $100, you can go through this tournament and make your way to the championship and play on basically an NBA court?
Essentially. It's kind of that feeling.
Okay.
It's in the Hall of Fame. You have a whole bunch of athletes from back before we were even born and so forth that have stepped foot on that court. Whether it's just during the summer to talk with people, do some autograph sessions, whatever else they do there. But yeah, it's definitely worth the money. That $100, which all that money goes to Make-A-Wish Foundation to help these kids with life-threatening illnesses.
Yeah.
We want to make as many wishes that we can come true each year. Each year, try to find something different to do with this tournament. And I know in another couple of years when we have that 5-year anniversary, I'm definitely going to have some huge ideas.
Well, I know you're going big now, so now you got to go even more in the 5-year or 5th-year anniversary, rather.
Yeah, and I definitely have to thank Jamie from the Cold Creek Brewery here in Ellington. He definitely
Get the growlers filled.
Yes, definitely. He was a huge help so far, finding some sponsors to cover the cost, just because they don't do things for free.
Right. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Jamie's a good guy and sponsors everything.
Oh, yeah.
So moving on from that, in a couple of weeks, we're going to actually have Joey on, who also does a charity event. It's a baseball tournament, and that's in Manchester. He'll be on. He'll talk about that and see if any of you guys would want to be on a baseball tournament. It's the John Scribner Memorial Tournament, and they've raised a ton of money as well. And that's local, and it goes to the Manchester Scholarship Foundation, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that's what it is. So we're going to have some more charity things on here. So if any of you that are watching want to be on, you have a charity that you want us to advocate for you, please feel free to let us know. Moving on with more sports, I'm going to skip over a little bit and talk about why we're wearing these jerseys right now because, football really hasn't started yet. I know the draft's on and all that's going on, but, I had to wear my Tom Brady jersey, free Brady.
Yes, free Brady, please.
Yeah. If you look at this football, it's not deflated. All right, it's a great all-pro football.
I don't know. It's definitely a frustrating topic to have to deal with the last year.
So do you think if he appeals it by any chance, your opinion, do you think he has any shot at not being suspended now?
I think it's going to be the same thing as last year. He goes, he gets his appeal, he gets to play the season. Just another year with Brady.
Yeah.
For all I know is he could be pushing this out until he's ready to retire, and then after that, I mean, what are you going to do? Just fine him some money? I mean, it's going to be pennies to him anyway. He's not going to lose anything off of it.
Yeah. I think that it would be great. This sounds terrible as a Patriots fan. So they suspend him. We start the season 4-0 still, and it does nothing. And all of this time spent, I know, that, you got to fight the guy that's doing the wrong, supposedly, but
right.
Still, if you go 4-0 with Jimmy Garoppolo, or if they bring in, I heard talks about them trying to get Brian Hoyer back and use him as the starter, but I don't know if that's just rumors, but
I'm sure it is, but, I had even made a joke during the week about, let's pick up Sam Bradford as our backup quarterback, at least for the first 4 games, because we need somebody.
The worst part is Sam Bradford is technically, the starter, and he still wants to get traded because of the draft picks, obviously. But I don't know who's going to pick him up now after Broncos got what they say is their franchise quarterback in the draft, traded up and got that.
Well, then I feel bad for my boy Sanchez then.
Yeah.
I mean, he just left.
Yep. I still think Sanchez will be a great fit, and if they give him the shot in the beginning of the season and let him start, I think he can do great and grow with the new rookie.
I would hope he wouldn't have to be the backup quarterback. But the way quarterbacks are going from last season, it's just all over the place. You got second strings, you got third strings in the game.
You really don't know what you have. It doesn't matter what number you are drafted, because you really don't know. I mean, because Tom Brady, he was in the 6th round,
right?
So you never would know.
No.
So I mean, we could let's ask Gronk. Gronk, what do you think? What do you think about Tom Brady? No.
He doesn't.
He's a man of few words today.
He is.
But,
He's worrying about his little dance off.
yeah,
He does
or
all the time.
his dating app. Did you see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, he started on a dating app, and yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Anyways,
He's got to be so dumb to do that.
but look at how Gronk does things, and it's, I don't want to say acceptable, but it is accepted through the NFL somewhat. He gets slapped on the wrist, and then look at Johnny Manziel,
Oh my God.
who
Johnny Cash.
he screwed up. He was so young in his career; he wasn't established yet, and made not few mistakes, but many. And now, if he breaks a pencil at practice, you'll hear it in the news.
Right.
And it's just so funny how quickly you can be put under a microscope, and then it's just downhill from there because the media won't want to look at anything but the negative.
Right. And with the way things are going with him, I don't know
Yeah.
why anybody
Would pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why even have any faith in him with drafting him after everything that happened? I know it wasn't that bad. I mean, the whole money thing and him out partying and everything, but at the same time I would think if you still know outside of football life he's going to be doing the partying and stuff, something's bound to happen again.
Yeah.
And it has. And
Yep.
now he's lost 2 agents.
Yeah.
He's gone through rehab once already, hasn't checked back in for a second rehab.
Yep.
I'm leaning towards he's not going to have a job this season.
No.
And who knows from there on.
The only thing that could get him a job is injuries this season.
Basically.
I really think injuries or suspensions in this case with Brady talk. I mean, not that Patriots would ever pick him up. I would.
Hey,
hope not,
I mean,
but-
we picked up a guy that killed people. I mean,
Yeah. Well. Okay, got me there.
You just never know
You
with
don't
the
know.
Patriots.
You don't know. Moving on to the Lakers.
Yes.
Now that Kobe's gone, coaches have changed,
Yes, they have.
and now we have whom?
We have Luke Walton,
There you go.
a former Laker star with Kobe Bryant, won some championship rings with him as well, and he's been the assistant for the Golden State Warriors the last few years. Good for him. I mean, he got to learn, I'm sure, a lot of things from Steve Kerr with him being a player as well, and then going into the coaching industry. So I hope it's not one of those things like Jeff Hornacek where they have him come in for the Suns and they have a bad season off the start and then he's gone.
Yeah, I firmly believe that one bad season should not get someone fired. But
no,
they
didn't do it to Brad Stevens.
Right. Okay. There you go.
And
right.
They've been letting him rebuild, which, you know what? They've made it to the playoffs the last 2 years. Yes, they didn't make it past the first round. Can't use that against them, but they definitely stuck with him with the whole rebuilding situation.
Yep. So now, what do you think? What do you think now that the Lakers are without Kobe? What kind of team do they need to rebuild? Do they still have the right talent with the coach? What else do they need to be successful now?
I think they need to convince some veterans to go over there.
Yeah.
You got somebody like Kevin Durant who's going to be a free agent this year.
A real free agent,
yes,
right? He's not even restricted, right?
No, he's a free.
He's the freest of the free.
Yes. I think that it's almost going to be one of those years going back to when Michael Jordan played. It was that first year without Michael, and the Chicago Bulls were nothing like they were when he was around. I mean, it took them a few years to finally come around, and I definitely think that's what it's going to take with the Lakers. They definitely have some young talent out there on the team right now that's pretty good. It's just going to take a lot of stepping up, and we got the draft coming up here soon.
Yep.
Hopefully they can pick up some decent talent for that as well, and see where it's going to lead. On the bright side, they still have another LA team, the Clippers. And they've had a rough end of the season as well. They lost CP3 and Blake Griffin to injury, and now they just got defeated by the Portland Trailblazers, who now are going to be moving on to the next round against the Warriors. So,
Yeah. Now, speaking about coaches, something that I always never thought was a good coach, but tell me if I'm wrong, is, let's say, a former star like Wayne Gretzky for hockey coached the Phoenix Coyotes and was terrible, but one of the greatest players of all time in hockey.
right.
Now, I'm transitioning this into Kobe. Do you think Kobe would coach ever? Do you think anyone would give him the opportunity, which I bet they would? And number two, do you think he'd take it and be a good fit as a coach? Or do you think he would fall into the same categories like a Gretzky?
I'm thinking, I think he'll definitely coach. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. Not everybody can be like a Jason Kidd who just retires, and then next thing you know, he's a coach.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to take some time, I think. And the thing I seem to realize as an athlete and as a person that watches sports all the time in my house, it seems like it really comes down to the players and who you have on the team. You could have been the best player, you could be the best coach, but like when Luke Walton got to take over for the Warriors for a little while, with Steve Kerr being out with his medical condition, they wanted to. You could go and make him coach of the year, but look at who they have.
Right. So the players make the coach in certain situations, is what you're saying.
That's what I definitely feel. And this whole thing that you hear sometimes with players not liking the coaches, so they go and play horrible just so they can get rid of them. It just seems like it's more on the players than on the coach.
Right. So speaking about players turned coach, Kevin Ollie was another player that turned not NBA coach yet.
Not yet.
But there's still rumors about him being an NBA coach in this offseason for, the Huskies. But his quote was, it would have to be a really good deal for him to leave UConn, is what he said. I don't even think it was money.
To me,
that's
just crazy.
Yeah.
That's just absurd. I mean, yeah, he's making whatever million from UConn right now. You're going to get double, triple that salary. Unless he thinks he's just going to walk in and, be on a team like the Warriors and, have a great career.
Right.
But, I mean, he was once again another prospect for the Lakers before they hired
you're right.
Walton. And last year he was a person of interest for the Oklahoma City Thunder, which they did ended up taking the Florida coach instead.
Right.
But
I mean, does he think, would he ever coach women's?
I don't think he would.
No.
I
didn't think so either.
No. He's not another Gino Auriemma.
I don't think there is another Gino Auriemma.
No, there definitely is.
In talking on that, you see how many Huskies are going to the Olympics?
Yeah, there's basically almost the whole entire team.
I believe I want to say there's 5 Huskies.
Don't quote us on that. Don't
quote us. But Gino is coaching them in Rio, and Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Stewart. I forget who the rest were, but that's amazing. And some of those players haven't played with Auriemma in so many years, but they still get the opportunity to be coached by him in the Olympics, where they can win gold with him after already winning championships with him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be such a cool feeling, and it's got to bring a good mood to the USA women's team.
Oh yeah.
For the Olympics.
Definitely, for sure. I wonder how many more years he has in him to coach college hoops and even the Olympics. I mean,
right. He has had some health issues recently. He was hospitalized this past weekend, I believe. Not this weekend, but the last weekend.
Correct.
Undisclosed issues, which is fine. But health and travel is huge especially with Olympics. Just going to see your team basically while they're still playing in their whatever division they're in.
Right.
And then traveling around the world to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And if you're not healthy, that's
Right. I mean,
Not very good.
no. I don't think it's going to be anything huge like Calhoun, where
Yeah,
it's like every
yeah.
single year health issue comes
Right.
about. I mean, Gino's still young.
Yeah, yeah.
Not young to us, but
Well,
for his generation, he's still young.
Yeah. And then how about the Celtics? They're knocked out.
Yeah. Poor Celtics.
What do you think's on tap for them next year? You think
Well,
what
once
do they
again,
gotta
with
do?
coming up with Durant, there was
Yep.
a rumor that, it's definitely going to be a big off season for them. I'm definitely thinking they'll be able to come about a couple big talented players. They obviously must have the money now since
Yep,
they've
yep.
been in this whole rebuilding situation for the last 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, with them coming back down 2 games to none, going back to Boston and tying it up, I thought, you know what?
I thought they had a chance.
I definitely thought they had a chance. I figured with the way it was looking, it was going to come down to home court, but the Atlanta Hawks came into Boston and just
And wreaked
took
havoc.
over.
Yep, ran them right out of town, unfortunately.
Yeah. So.
Well, and then one of the big draft stories of the weekend and week was Laramie Tunsil. He, where did he go? He went
to the Miami Dolphins.
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins have given him a chance.
So what's your opinion on that? You think it should have hurt his draft number?
It's hard to tell. It's just kind of weird that all of a sudden his account gets hacked.
Yep.
And, a team source claims that they had seen the video for the first time right before the draft started. And all of a sudden everybody, just knows about it. And he is supposed to be the number 6th pick and ends up dropping all the way to 13th. He goes and loses basically $7 million just off of that. But at the same time, he ain't going to be hurting. He is not going to be hurting.
Do you think teams fear that the video that with the really strict NFL regulations on drug use, that's why he dropped and lost money, because he's more of a higher risk of being maybe suspended by the league, for just drugs in general?
I don't think he'll be suspended or anything. I definitely think they'll.
I don't think now. I mean, more or less, maybe down the road, maybe he's a higher risk.
He might be, but at the same time, I mean, with him, I'm sure getting regularly tested, they'll be doing anyway.
Right. But then again, look at was it Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
So he was suspended a full year. He had a full year to smoke all the marijuana he wanted to do. He knew at the end of the year that he was going to get tested.
Right.
And guess what? He's still
Bye-bye.
smoking weed. And now he's still done.
He's addicted.
And I mean, okay, so if you're addicted like that, that's fine. Just do what Ricky Williams did. Said, you know what? I'd rather smoke pot instead of play football. And he left it.
He left.
He
He
said,
went to like an unknown island, basically, and we didn't see him for a length of time, just so then he could freaking grow some dreadlocks and get high like Bob Marley every day.
Yeah, and that's fine. So if you want to do it, quit, but stop wasting everyone's time and hurting, because now it makes these players that this silly video comes up,
Right.
and they'll be like, oh, well, look at Josh Gordon. They've spent this money on him, lost him for a year. Now they drafted a wide receiver in the draft, the Browns, and thank God, because Josh Gordon's not going to come back. He can't. I mean, I think he has one more chance to test and not lose the full season, but I could be wrong. But that will hurt a player like this.
Right. I honestly think he'll be fine. I mean, they talked about how he wants to pay his mom's rent. She had a light bill that had to get paid. Just the way his physical feature was after he finally got drafted and interviewed and everything. I think he knows what he's done is wrong. He's moving on. He now has to focus on his career, and if he's trying to take care of his mom, he doesn't want to mess that up at all.
No, absolutely. And he's like you said, his wall's not gonna hurt. He'll sign into his rookie contract, which is less. It's how much he lost $7 million off the contract.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the
Yeah. Okay.
rookie salary is.
But it's around there, of $7 million loss-ish. But it's still a rookie contract. So if he stays good for his length of his entry-level contract,
Yeah, even
then
if it was
he
just
will
$2
be
million,
fine.
$2
Yeah.
million, he'll be fine.
Yeah. But Dolphins is a tough place to play, especially
Yes,
with things like that going on in the background. He will be
Right.
mocked and teased
Oh,
and
yeah.
totally harassed. And that locker room has kind of been known for a little hazing, so
Right.
hopefully he can make it out of there alive, so to speak.
Yeah, basically.
You know.
I'll just be happy if the Patriots actually decide to beat the Miami Dolphins this year.
Yeah.
Never seem to have any good luck.
No. That's I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe we should bring Moss back.
Yeah.
Bring him out of retirement.
He wants to every once in a while. They've also talked about T.O.
Oh God,
but
that's a joke. with him.
Well, imagine him with Bill Belichick. First of all, he wouldn't even be able
He'd
to play.
No,
You know what I mean? He'd bench him.
and even if he did get to play, he'd want the freaking ball every single time.
Yep. I know. Other things that are going on is next week's guest, which is Darrell Henderson.
Yes, Big D. He's the founder of the Winner Circle Sports Cyber group on Facebook. Basically, a page where everybody posts things and talks all types of sports stuff,
yeah.
basically.
So if you like the show, find him on Facebook, talk some sports with them. He'll be on Monday, which is just 2 days away,
Yes.
in our new little mock studio down here. It'll be improving more and more by every week, but
yeah,
one step at a time.
definitely.
We're gonna play a game with Darrell. He doesn't know it yet, so don't tell him. And if you're watching Darrell, no cheating.
Yeah, he's definitely a good guy. I played basketball with his brother the last couple of years. And they're both like big diesel guys, man. They're always at the Hartford Y working out every single day.
So I should choose wisely what game I play.
Yeah, you probably should. I mean, they'd make very good bouncers for us if we ever become famous. I'll tell you that.
Right. We're having them work at the Hidden still.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to bring up is I know the NHL playoffs are on, and I know you're not a huge fan of them, but this was 2 nights ago. TJ Oshie scores 3 goals to make a comeback win against the Penguins with literally the 3rd goal in overtime, and he literally had it past the goal line, maybe 3 centimeters, enough to win the game for them.
Wow.
And he is also the one that won it in the Olympics for USA. I believe it was Oshie. Don't now watch. I'm going to be wrong, and I'm going to be criticized for that, but it's all right. Other than that, the Blackhawks being eliminated, that was a surprise. That was the reigning Stanley Cup champions.
Huge.
Yeah.
Kane has to be mad.
Yeah. Well, everything that Kane's went through this year with his sexual lawsuit allegations and all that, and he got taken off the NHL cover from last year. It was the first time ever they were going to do 2 stars on the cover, and it was Taves and Kane. And they removed him and only put Taves on because of this lawsuit. So for them to be knocked out in the first round in the reigning Stanley Cup champions, that's a tough hit for them.
Yeah. Poor Kane.
Poor Kane.
Poor Kane.
Yeah, I guess back to New York he goes. Other than that, I think that's it for this week, or this edition of the Stephen J. Sports Quick Take. We're going to try to see if we can make this a regular weekly thing. Go over just sports, just us, and then we'll keep the Monday thing going with the special guest. If you want to come on, if you are a sports athlete in New England and you're watching, please.
We definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. Feel free to hit us up on YouTube or at djchefsteve@gmail.com. That is another way to hit us up, and I believe that's all, and we'll see you guys on Monday with our special guest, Darrell Henderson from the Winner Circle. And also, always remember to drink local beer, Cold Creek Brewery, our official sponsor.